Sure thing. You see my screen?
Coming through.
All right. So I'm Jonathan Senecal. I worked in the past for many NSPs, network service providers. I currently work for one NSP in particular, which is named MetroOptic. We build networks across Canada, and our most dense networks are around the Montreal Island in Quebec, the province of Quebec in Canada. One of our challenges is really dealing with like the plethora of information that we need to push to third parties, such as ARIN. I don't know about your background, everybody, but ARIN is basically the authority that manages the IP space for anything that's public on the internet for Americas, so Canada, United States, and so on. And one thing that they require is to tell them about your usage of the IP space that you own. So you basically need to tell them using SWIP, what exactly is your footprint and how many prefixes you have assigned to third parties and what's their usage of it and so on and so forth. And if you don't do that, you basically are denied from adding IP space to your AS number, for instance. So this information is also used by third parties, such as when you go like google.com, it knows you're basically from Italy, so it redirects you to google.it, for instance. That basically is from a database. In that case, it would be right for Italy, but the address is coming from this database. The old way to update this information was through emails. Yes, emails. So you had to send a specific format by email to ARIN per prefix. So let's say you have thousands of prefixes, that would be 1,000 of emails, individual emails, crafted by hand most of the time, or through any sort of text automation that you have, and send it over and hope for the best. Obviously, this is super tedious and, leads to problems and stuff like that. There has to be a better way, right? So, like I said, most service providers have multiple hundreds of prefixes to report to ARIN, some even thousands. And those prefixes could be all the way small to /29s or bigger subnets like /24s. So the solution was to automate the record management with RWS, which is a REST API that ARIN's just released recently. And instead of using SWIP through emails, you use their REST API to push the data over there. Where NetBox comes in is NetBox as a source of truth is basically the best way to reference this data to send it to ARIN, because you don't really care what's at ARIN's if your source of truth is NetBox, right? So you can overwrite whatever is there if it makes sense for you. So I built that functionality, the integration through custom scripts inside of NetBox. Obviously, NetBox doesn't know how to speak ARIN REST, so I built a Python library, which is PRegRWS, which is on GitHub and PyPy to help with this. So enough slides. Let's go with the presentation. Like I was discussing, so this is ARIN RegRWS multiple, sorry. And it's basically intended to update this information. For those that don't know about ARIN, their documentation is very good. You can read about them. You may not use them at all because you don't have this need, but I invite you to go read through this. It's very, very interesting. So anyways, so as you may know, an ISP has many customers, and some of those have prefixes. And for instance, this is a /31 assigned to a specific customer, which is blurred right now. But you see it's named right there. So anyways, it's not private information, but basically what this allows is to know, like, for all the prefixes that we have, for instance, in that /20, I'm sorry, I need my VPN connected. That was bad timing. Sorry for that.
That's how you know when it's a real demo.
Yeah, I know, right? That's bad. So
That
sorry for
was
that.
oh, you're fine. That's what Jeremy told me when I had a demo fail in real time. That's how you know it's real.
Okay, give me a second. I need to turn up another VPN, but I can't share the VPN name, so give me a sec. I'll stop sharing for now.
Sure. So while you're getting that set up, just like a general question, you mentioned ARIN in here. Is that the only registrar that's that your org works with?
Yes, currently this is the only registrar we work with, but they have all the other registries have similar systems. It's not like the same. So you basically open their REST API and do what you need. So let me see if it works now. Yeah, it works. Okay, sorry, I can share now. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're saying, so we have like this /20, which is an aggregate that we get from ARIN, and it has many prefixes, as you can see, 274 there, and those 274s are either per region, like split into regions, or per basically customers. You have some descriptions there, but that's basically what it is. And once this customer is changed, or we sell this information, this IP block to somebody else, we need to update ARIN. And every time we do that, we basically either needed to send an email to that, and most of the time we just get very outdated very quickly, until the customer, which was based in Montreal, would be like the prefix, I mean, would be assigned to a Toronto customer. And then this customer would complain that all his results are based in Montreal for some reason. So now you have to do the Swift thing and send the information to ARIN, so everybody's database is updated with GeoIP location stuff. What we basically use is the customer location or site to document the address, but this was not specific enough for ARIN, because ARIN wants very more detailed information about the physical address. So I used Google Maps Place ID for this. So what I built is a small custom script that, well, Python script really, that bulk updates sites based on addresses or the information that's from NetBox. This is not open source, but it basically does that. So it pulls up the site from NetBox and asks you about it. You want to change something about that. There's no tenant, whatever. And if you would like to change the physical address, you would actually search Google Map with this address and find it in Google. And then if you're good with that, you continue. What it did there, it basically updated the place ID there. Is a custom field. So this information contains a lot of information, because in Google, you have all the different address components. So you can query them later on. And I'm going there very soon. So once this information is available, you can do a bulk update. So this is the script in question. These are all our prefixes. So anyways, so that would be my script. It's called reassign simple in that case, because we do most of our reassignments as simple reallocations. There's more to it, but I won't go into further details. And once it runs, it basically spews out a bunch of information like that. So I'll let it run for a while. It's going to take a few seconds. So during this time, I'll basically just show you an example of output there. So basically, it's going to process the aggregate, which is the /20 I documented, and it's going to check every prefix one by one, and it's going to find this guy. This discovers that ARIN has different objects assigned to it, so it's trying to remove the ARIN reassignment. But this specific prefix has a quirk to it, so it basically fails. But I know about it, so it's a known failure. But most of those objects would eventually succeed. So it's basically processing the prefixes, going to check for the existing net that is being documented inside of ARIN, make sure it conforms to what's in NetBox, and then decide it's up to date. So if it doesn't have to do anything else, it just stops there. And sometimes it would try to update them, and those are the warnings there. So it automates all this process for the 274 subnets that I spoke about. And if it's missing a tenant, it's not going to do anything because it can't find the addresses. But that's basically it. That's the script. It does this very quickly. Actually, this guy is done. So it went through the full aggregate and documented all of those prefixes. And one example of those would be, let's say, this guy. Okay, so if you go into, this one has no site, need to find one that has a site. This guy. Okay, so if I were to go to ARIN, okay, I need to get rid of that box. Sorry, the Zoom meeting was in the way. So if I were to go into ARIN and do this, and it tells you this is the object I created, which is FlexCom. If I actually go back there, FlexCom, you see it, so it's right there. And so it basically tells you that it was updated today.
Nice.
And it basically builds the handle, which is the customer name. So it's FlexCom, the address of this customer and everything, puts all the information for you. And all this information obviously is based from the address that was first parsed through Google Maps API and then after the script transit. The script is right there. It's somewhat long. Let me get rid of this guy. Yes. So has a few hundred lines there, but it's
We still see the ARIN screen.
Oh, you do? Sorry about that. I'm not sharing the right thing. My bad.
Soon we'll do that. But you're just about up. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's a trick. So obviously the script is not open source, but I can open source it to anybody who wants to adapt it to their needs. And the library is open source and is available on GitHub, which is this tab. I have it open. I've read that. So this library basically just handles, it's like an object mapper for the REST API and uses Pydantic models for that.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
If you have any questions, I'm available after because apparently I'm running out of time.
Yeah, you're good. I just making sure we didn't that you weren't going to go too deep in the script, but I do appreciate you bringing it up.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it really saves a lot of time. I mean, doing this tedious work we used to take many hours for like this desk jockey. Now it's just done manual, like through a click of a button, really.
That's not, I mean, it's been quite some time since I've had to deal with ARIN personally, but it always seemed like it was hours just dealing with a single instance or a single entry. So I can appreciate how that would help you guys transact a lot more rapidly.